And just a minute or two here for the players to get warmed up before the start of the game. Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. I'm Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Tim Legler, along with our reporter, Allie LaForce. A moment now to check out some numbers for Lauri Markkanen.
And he's gone dry over the past 10 games, guys. His scoring is way down, and he can't seem to fight his way out of the slump. He better get going tonight, or they'll start losing patience with him.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Harris steps in at the 4, with Duren at the center spot. Robinson is out there with Cunningham. And it's Thompson in at the 3 spot. And for the Jazz, they've got Markkanen. He's out there with Nurkic. Bailey out there with George. And it's Mikhailuk in at the shooting guard. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone. Greg, it is a huge day on the NBA calendar.
Well, getting a Christmas game is special. They're normally reserved for the best teams, and the guys on the floor tonight have earned their chance to be on the big stage.
Outside Robinson. Down low. Here's Duren. And Duren slams it in.
And if Duren decides to go up and try to dunk that, who in this league is going to get in his way?
Pass to Nurkic. Here's Mikhailuk, guarded by Robinson. 6 on the shot clock. Markkanen passes to Mikhailuk. Over Robinson. Mikhailuk can't get it to go. And it's Detroit's ball. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
The key when you go into a hostile territory is play with a purpose and stay true to your game plan. That's what they did.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Yeah, just going back and forth, it is really competitive out there.
And that's a foul called on Lauri Markkanen. That's his first foul. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter.
Nurkic with great size at just about 7 feet.
To the inside, it's stolen by Harris. Thompson in the corner. Outside Robinson. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Robinson's got 6.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now, here's George. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Memphis.
And let's not discount what he did from the line. He stopped the clock and gave his team a chance to set up their half-court defense.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Will Hardy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. Much of our discussion centered around Cade Cunningham. He said that's their catalyst. They look to him to control the pace, to read the defense, and to make the right basketball play, which he usually does. He is very tough to neutralize. Guys, back to you.
Okay, Allie, thank you.
They put it up, and Markkanen just powers it through.
And so it's Cunningham with it. He brings it up for Detroit. And this young Pistons team, GA, you and I love them, building around toughness.
Yeah, offensively, attacking the paint, defensively, where they are engaged. And they'll send you to the foul line quite a bit, but it's a product of that hard-nosed style.
Offensive rebound, Duren, and Duren slams it in.
Good luck dealing with Duren on the offensive glass. That's just an outstanding job staying with the play.
And George kicks to Nurkic. Back to George. Over Cunningham. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. For Detroit, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Robinson passes to Duren. Outside for Robinson. Takes the three. And it's hauled in by Lauri Markkanen.
And if they know what's good for them, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball in the three-point lane.
Bailey passes to Nurkic. Kicks it out to Markkanen from past the arc. Duren pulls it in. Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Thompson passes to Robinson. Robinson a screen on George. Cunningham for three. Kept alive. And Duren is right there.
Yeah, and how about the stick-to-itiveness on that possession? Stayed with it, didn't give up until the ball was in the basket.
George dishes to Markkanen. Pass to Bailey. Back to Markkanen. Lets it go with the three. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field. Here's Cunningham. A 23-point game for him in the win against the Kings in Sacramento.
And let's not forget about his defense. Every time you looked up, he was forcing a turnover.
Now here is Harris. The screen from Thompson. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's George. A dependable source of points for his team, averages just under 24 points a game. Pass to Bailey. There's the triple. Duren pulls it in. Duren's got his 5th rebound in this one. Thompson finds Cunningham. Now Duren. 23 points for him the last game against the Kings in Sacramento.
And we need to mention the impact he had on the defensive side as well. He blocked a couple shots and altered others.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Detroit.
And, guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
And what a great job they have done sharing the ball. This is what team basketball looks like, and I love to see it.
Jazz trail by 5. George looking over the floor. Here's Mikhailu, guarded by Robinson. Nurkic, the pass to Mikhailu. And he goes in for the dunk.
And that's exactly the type of pass we expect from a guy with his vision.
Pistons leading by 3. Outside Robinson. And Thompson kicks to Harris. Detroit, no good that time either. Utah's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. And Markkanen throws it down.
And how about the hops there by Markkanen? He knows not many guys can block that shot. Good at getting that deep post position.
The Pistons have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. And so the timeout here by J.B. Bickerstaff. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east already. We are in December. You take a look at the Pistons. They've been in peak form as we've watched them play some tremendous basketball with an eye toward the postseason.
And I think for the Pistons, they had pressure on them coming into the season. A lot of people were picking them to have a special year. And they haven't shied away from that pressure. They've embraced it.
Well, on paper, they certainly look dominant coming in, and that's exactly what we've seen on the floor. No one is going to want to face this team in the postseason.
A nice up fake by Cunningham. He does all the little things that help him generate points. Right here, he just gets himself to the line.
You know, Tim, one thing you hear about Cade Cunningham is his leadership skills.
Yeah, Kevin, he is very mature and unselfish. While this team definitely revolves around his play, he doesn't make it all about himself, and that is the difference.
Now, here's George. Bailey passes to George. On the wing, Markkanen. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Markkanen's got the game tied up here for the Jazz. And so it's Cunningham. He'll bring it up for Detroit. Inside. Pass to Duran. 5 to shoot. Cunningham inside. Defended by George. Cunningham's shot is off.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Detroit's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Duran sets the screen for Cunningham. No good with the triple. Utah's gone 4-7 from three-point range so far in the first. Luke passes to Markkanen. Outside for George. Here's Bailey. Tips it up. There's Nurkic putting it right back in. And the Jazz lead by 2.
And just a massive player. Nurkic's combination of size and strength helps him on that offensive glass.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. You know, Greg, after struggling with injuries to start his NBA career, Cade Cunningham is figuring it out.
And the former #1 overall pick in 21. Last season, his first All-Star appearance, and he's only getting started.
And we're seeing Cunningham turn himself into a leader. This is why he went first overall back in 2021.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. And a different look here for the Pistons. Stewart checked in for Duran. Holland comes in for Harris. Karis LeVert's checked in for Thompson. And it's Jaden Ivey in for Duncan Robinson. Here's Collier. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Hendricks, good.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Pistons trail by 3. Cunningham kicks to Ivey. Second chance shot, and Cunningham with the layup. Cunningham's got 6 points.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding early on, and you wonder what kind of a role that's going to play moving forward.
Here's Sensabaugh. Love outside. No good from outside.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the three.
Pass to Stewart. Cunningham on the wing. Shoots over Collier. Cunningham's shot is off.
It's been a rough quarter for him. I think patience can help. Take the shots that are there. Don't force it.
Love right side. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. Nine seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Collier. Good on the triple. Here's Holland. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Lauri Markkanen getting it done for Utah. And it was from three-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. We'll get you back to the action after this break. And we welcome you back to NBA action, a great tradition, Christmas Day basketball, here on 2K Sports. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Jazz.
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
Well, from the start, they've been making quality passes offensively, and that is reflected in their assist numbers.
Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Isaiah Stewart out there with Holland. Then there's Karis LeVert. Then it's Ivey. And it's Jenkins in at the point. Now here's Jenkins. He's covered closely. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen. And with this break, let's bring up the list of the dominant rookie rebounders in the NBA this season. You take a look at Filipowski. He does a great job inside, one of the top rebounders in the league.
And you know, rebounding was a skill that I thought would translate to the NBA for him. We knew he could board with the best of them, and he has not disappointed. Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Now, here's Ivy. Tight defense on him. The rebound by the Jazz. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
A game they definitely felt they could win, and with a break here or there, they probably could have.
Yeah, these games come down to making big plays in big spots, and they just didn't make enough of those.
Now, here's Ivy. 8 points his last outing. Hendricks pulls it in.
The defense doing just enough there to affect that shot.
Power down with both hands.
Changing ends quickly, he's rewarded with a high percentage look.
And they are showing you why it's so important to get up the floor before the defense can set themselves.
A different look here for Detroit. Thompson, he's checked in for Holland. Duncan Robinson comes in for Ivy. And it's Cunningham in for Jenkins. Now, here's Cunningham. He has 6. Shoots over Collier. And with that, the Jazz lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Cunningham. Utah has gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark. Shooting the 3-ball well. Outside, Markkanen. Pass to Collier. Over Cunningham. Great positioning on the putback. Mikhailuk's got the lead up to 7 now for the Jazz.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Back to Cunningham. Thompson sets the pick for Cunningham. 6 to shoot. Robinson on the wing. Buries it from 3-point range. Robinson's got 9.
Yeah, Cunningham keeping others involved, a true catalyst for this offense.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Pass to Mikhailuk. Bailey with a wide open look. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Now, here is Robinson. He's guarded closely. Cunningham outside. Here's LeVert. Back to Cunningham. Just 5 to shoot. Looking for LeVert. He gets it there. You know, Tim, regardless of where he's played, Karis LeVert has always found a role.
Well, there's a lot to like, Kevin. He can defend as well as create offensively, and that means he's going to be in your rotation.
That free throw, no good. And GA, you know, some people argue that defense has declined in recent years. Would you agree?
I think mostly it's just harder to defend in today's game. You have to cover so much more ground, and with the lack of physicality, it just makes it more challenging.
Nurkic checked in for Utah. And a switcher also for Detroit. Harris is checked in for Isaiah Stewart. Harris against Nurkic. Harris kicks to Robinson. Pass to Cunningham. Back to Robinson. Off target from outside. Jazz leading by 4. To the middle. Stolen by Thompson. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. And there's Thompson. That's good on the assist from Harris. Thompson's got his first 2 points.
Got to do more than this to stop Thompson. He's used to having to fight through contact.
For Utah, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. They set the pick. Here's Mikhailuk. Connects from 3-point range. Mikhailuk's got 5 points in the quarter.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Got to fight over it as a defender.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Now, here's Cunningham. 8 points for him. Misses in close.
Well, this has been far from his best game, and if they're going to come back here, he's got to find a way to get going.
Here's Markkanen, and Markkanen throws it down.
I like the decisiveness by Markkanen in the screen and roll, really knowing when to shoot once he gets the screen.
Outside Robinson. Thompson against Markkanen. Back to Robinson. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Here's Cunningham. A rebound by the Jazz. Nurkic has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside Markkanen. Nice ball movement by Utah. Bailey with the ball. He has yet to score. A 3 ball. Markkanen can't get it to go.
Well, after lighting it up from deep in the first quarter, they have quieted him down.
Robinson passes to Cunningham. Harris dishes to Cunningham. Shoots over Collier. And with that shot, the Jazz lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Cunningham.
And that is great work inside by Cunningham. He can just beat you in so many ways.
And so the timeout by Will Hardy here. He's ready to talk things through with them. And Utah making a change here. George is checked in, and a switcher also for Detroit. Jalen Duren. He's checked in for LeVert. George against Cunningham. Now, here's Nurkic. Defense is right there. 4 on the shot clock. Lets it go from the wing. Bank shot, no good.
Well, he got the shot he loves, and the defense should honestly be relieved he didn't punish them for being a little bit soft there in the mid-range.
Very little resistance against that throwdown.
Nope, not what they want to see in a game this close, Greg.
When every possession matters, your defense has to be better.
And Utah has possession. Following the bucket by the Pistons. Nurkic a screen on Cunningham. George passes to Nurkic and finished off by Nurkic.
Love watching Nurkic set hard screens and then roll with purpose. Great job in the creativity there from the pick and roll.
Pistons trail by 5. Thompson outside. Pass to Cunningham. Duren with the screen on George. There's the lob to Duren. He's off on that one.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
Yeah, the timing was a little bit off, and it forced the miss.
Stolen by Thompson. And here we go. The Pistons fast break. Harris no good. Jazz leading by 5. Here's Bailey. Nothing on the board. Pass to George. Out to the wing. 5 on the clock. 3-pointer, Markkanen. Duren pulls it in. Duren's got 6 rebounds here tonight. To the paint. Here's Cunningham. And then Cunningham slams it in.
Wow, Cunningham, that is nasty.
Just a terrific perspective of that dunk from the Connected Cam. Brought to you by AT&T. And so George will bring it up for Utah. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Yeah, you could see they were pressing in that one, and the shooting percentages dipped because of it.
Well, they just never looked comfortable out there, and part of that is the defense they were facing.
Now here is Harris. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. Cunningham kicks to Robinson. Shot clock at 6. Here's Harris. And a wide-open look for Cunningham. Basket is good, the assist from Harris. Cunningham's got it all tied up now for the Pistons. The Jazz have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. Markkanen passes to George. Finds himself wide open and drills it. George has got 5.
That's the right pass to make. Beautiful job.
Harris outside. Back to Cunningham. On the wing, Harris. Excellent D there from Markkanen. Utah has gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let him fly. On the wing, Markkanen. Count it. And now a 4-point Jazz lead. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Jazz lead by 4. From the Delta Center, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. It's been fairly even so far. Lowry Markkanen having a dominant impact in this game.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half. And he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Well, you're going to have to adjust the way you're defending him. He is getting whatever he wants right at the rim.
Markkanen is out there with Bailey. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. Then it's George. And it's Mikhailuk in at the shooting guard position. And that's the group for Will Hardy as they begin the second half. Now, here's Thompson. Pass to Harris. Cunningham for 3. Offensive rebound. And Duren slams it in.
Well, that is grown man strength right there. Duren finishing through contact.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
Did he lay an egg at the stripe in their previous game? Couldn't get anything to drop.
Jalen Duren is certainly a force to him in this NBA. He's a nightly double-double.
Well, he looks like a bouncer at a nightclub, but you forget how young this guy is. If he keeps improving like this, Kevin, he has a chance to be one of the premier bigs in this league.
I was going to say the same thing about you, but I'll call you a Greek god as opposed to a bouncer in a bar. How's that?
I much prefer the Greek god description.
Count that bucket. Markkanen's got 19 points.
You got to reward the big fella when he runs like that. Markkanen looking determined to score in transition.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. Outside, Robinson. Pistons passing it around. They get it back. Cunningham outside. And the shot no good, a bit short. Utah leading by 3. Pass to Bailey. Markkanen looking it over. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
That's a cold start out of the break. Only one of his first 4 has he gotten to go.
Robinson misses. Utah has gotten blanked from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Stolen by Thompson. Harris passes to Thompson. Good, and Harris gets the assist. Harris has got 3 assists now in this one.
An explosive player. Thompson has serious leaping ability, and that comes in handy around the basket.
George passes to Bailey. Here's Mikhailuk, guarded by Robinson. Outside, Markkanen. The Jazz with another miss.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
George with the steal. And it's Bailey in the corner. The Jazz with another miss.
Well, he's 0 for, but they're still winning, and that's really all that matters.
Pass to Thompson. Now Cunningham. Defended by George. George against Cunningham. Over George. And that one goes long. The Jazz with the lead. Now Bailey. Still scoreless. Fires the 3. Trains the three-pointer.
And developing that 3-ball shot, George is putting in the work now.
And so it's Cunningham with it. He brings it up for the Pistons. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. Duren with the screen on George. Snatched up. And Duren is right there. That gives him a double-double in this one. 11 points and 12 rebounds.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And so the timeout by Will Hardy here. Looking for a breather and maybe adjusting a thing or two. And with this chance, we can show you the real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. Those are the season's top shot-blocking teams. The Pistons, number 1.
And anybody who's a fan of defense has got to love this team. I mean, no one loves to see their name on top of that leaderboard as much as this coaching staff.
Now, here's George. 8 points for him. Bailey with the ball. Markkanen from outside. It's Cunningham with the rebound. Cunningham's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Well, after spacing the floor for them in the first half, he's gone cold from out there.
Here's Robinson. He's got 11. Nurkic with the steal. Here's Bailey. He's covered by Thompson. Nurkic a screen on Cunningham. Markkanen passes to Bailey. Good D by Thompson.
You have to love his confidence, but you also need to read the situation.
For the tie. And slam dunk by Harris.
Well, if Tobias Harris sees a lane to the rim, he is going to exploit it.
And they are really racking up the assists in this one.
And their team chemistry is evident. These guys enjoy playing with one another.
Here's Mikhailuk. He has 7, and he comes up with the deuce. Mikhailuk's got 9.
Well, that's a shot that some defenses can give up, but not to that guy.
Outside Robinson. Top of the key, Harris. Pulls up. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. 8 points for Tobias Harris. And for the Jazz, they're shooting with confidence, 50% from the field so far. Pass to Mikhailuk. Now Bailey. That 3 off the mark.
You know, he might want to think about deferring for a while. He's had his chances this quarter, but just not able to convert.
Outside Robinson. Harris setting the pick for Robinson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They get it again. Here's Duren. Out to Thompson. Back to Duren. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Duren's got 7 points here in this quarter.
His efficiency throughout this game has really been something, and his team has been able to succeed in large part because of it.
Kyle Filipowski's checked in for Markkanen. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Jenkins checked in. Now, here's Nurkic. And it's blocked.
Yeah, going straight up with those long arms. Duren flat out, a brick wall around the rim.
And Utah making a change here. Hendricks is checked in. LeVert's checked in for Detroit. Dives for it. Stolen by LeVert. Thompson up top. And it's blocked. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. Now here's Jenkins. Defended by George. And Thompson kicks to LeVert. Pass to Robinson. Just 5 on the clock. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Tim, what a ride it's been for sharpshooter Duncan Robinson.
Well, there is no doubt about it, Kevin. He's the only player ever to take part in both a men's Division III and Division I championship game. Then, after going undrafted, he goes on to start in the NBA Finals. He has really come a long way.
Robinson hits them both. Hey, Tim, if you could start a franchise with one player not named Wembanyama, who would you select?
I think I'd go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now. When you look at his age, combined with the fact that I believe he is the single toughest individual cover in the NBA, he can just collapse defenses at will.
That is so well said. Would you pick a position or the player? How would you discern between those two thoughts?
I think the key for me is I want to take a guy who's going to make the decisions for me with the basketball in his hands. When you have a ball-dominant league with stars controlling the action, I want that one guy who I know I can pencil in high-level production every night.
Hendricks passes to McKinley. Nice ball movement by Utah. They need this one. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
That's a breakdown defensively. He is far too good of a shooter to leave that wide open.
1:52 left to play here in the third. Outside Robinson. Now here's LeVert. Still yet to score. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
What a great touch on that shot from LeVert. Even the foul can't interrupt the rhythm of his mechanics.
So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Stewart's checked in for Duren. Holland comes in for Thompson. Jaden Ivey, he's checked in for Duncan Robinson. And Cade Cunningham subbed in for Jenkins.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Cunningham passes to Stewart. Back to Cunningham. Clock at 4. And he lays it straight in. Cunningham's got the lead up to 5 now for the Pistons.
So good at playing through contact. The body control that Cunningham possesses is impressive.
And the Jazz with possession here. 55 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Markkanen passes to Collins. It's stolen by Cunningham. Here's Holland. Stewart kicks to Holland. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Holland's got 5 points so far.
It took a lot of confidence to take that shot.
Rebounded by the Pistons. Stewart's got 4 rebounds in this game.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Jazz trail by 9. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Outside, Markkanen. Clock at 6. Utah needs to get off a shot here. And we've reached the end of the third. The Pistons on top. They lead by 9. From the Delta Center, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Here's Collier. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. At the guard spots, we'll see Cunningham and Ivey. Holland is out there with LeVert, and it's Stewart in at the 5. Markkanen can't get it to go.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Well, that's a tough rebound there to secure, but he put all of his size in there in order to secure it.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Detroit leading by 7. And here's Ivey. Here is Cunningham. Now Ivey. Fires from deep. Hendricks pulls it in.
It's been a quiet game for him to this point on the offensive end, but the team has still played well enough to hold the lead.
On the 3 off target.
I love those kind of looks as a player. Plenty of space and peace of mind to launch. Rarely see him that open.
Now, here's Cunningham. Takes a 3. They get the rebound. Here's Holland. Detroit, no good that time either. Jazz trail by 7. Pass to Collier. Here's Sensible. Guarded by Stewart. Here's Sensible. It's deflected, and it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Nurkic checked in for the Jazz. Tobias Harris is checked in for the Pistons. Pistons leading by 7. Cunningham finds LeVert. Pistons passing it around. Nurkic with the steal. Markkanen with it. Pass to Collier. And here's Nurkic. Shot clock at 5. Now here's Markkanen. Bullseye. Markkanen's got 21.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey team, I was able to catch the message that J.B. Bickerstaff was giving to his team, and coach reminded his team that leads can disappear quickly in the NBA. He said if we get loose and they make a few shots in a row, then this is a ball game again. Do not let that happen, he implored. Guys.
Terrific, Allie. We appreciate the report. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Following the miss by Cade Cunningham. Markkanen a screen on Ivy. Pass to Markkanen. Puts up a deep 3. Detroit with the rebound. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
And the call will be against Yusuf Nurkic. That's foul number 2 for him. Harris passes to Ivy. Back to Harris. Cunningham looking it over. 6 to shoot. Pass to Ivy. That's in, coming off the assist from Cunningham. Ivy's got his first 3 points of the game.
Oh, how about the quick thinking by Ivy? I love when he goes right at it with the shot.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Here's Filipowski. It's hauled in by Stewart. Stewart's got 5 rebounds tonight. Ivy kicks to Harris. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And so Markkanen will bring it up for the Jazz. They've played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points. A different look here for Detroit. Duren, he's checked in for Stewart. Asar Thompson comes in for Karis LeVert. Robinson is subbed in for Ivy. Now, here's Cunningham. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Well, this league has some of the world's best athletes. But Asar Thompson, like his brother Amen, Tim, they're on another level.
Yeah, this guy has a top-tier burst and relentlessness to make things happen. He's already a stopper at the defensive end.
And the first one drops. A defensive tone setter, that's Asar Thompson. He shadows his man with relentless determination, but his game right before us, Tim, don't you think, is expanding in every way?
Oh, he's got immeasurable impact defensively, blocks, steals, deflections, always a disruptor. He's still a little bit foul prone, but I think as he starts to get a reputation in this league as an elite defender, he is going to be scary.
Now, here's Markkanen. Outside, George. From outside the arc. Rebound by the Pistons. Thompson's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And when he lets the athleticism take over, Thompson can do almost anything.
Here's George. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Mikhailuk. And that time, also a missed shot.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Harris, no good.
Yeah, it's been a tough game for him with his shooting. Fortunately, the rest of the team has picked him up, and they have the lead.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. Markkanen in the corner. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Pistons leading by 12. Outside Robinson. Pistons passing it around. Harris's shot is good.
After a rough first half, it's good to see him start to put the pieces together here.
Utah has gone ice cold from three-point land, 0-4 since the start of the final quarter. And Will Hardy calls timeout here. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team. Markkanen in the corner. They need this. Rebound by the Pistons.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Here's George. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be on Cade Cunningham.
Name a type of shot Keontae George can hit it, more than capable of scoring at all 3 levels.
The first free throw is good. So, Tim, you ended your NBA career a little bit early because of knee problems, and at 34, you made the transition to broadcasting and have excelled so much. What has that journey been like?
Well, certainly, Kevin, I wish I could have played another handful of years, but you're right. The knee injury forced me into this line of work, and I'm blessed and grateful because I can stay connected to the game. I get to watch it every night with a front row seat, and hopefully I get to make people a little bit smarter about what they're watching.
Oh, you do, believe me. You definitely do.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Well, they're making something very difficult look simple right now. And at this point, the defense is daring him to shoot.
He can't hit that time. Excellent D there from George. Here's Mikhailuk. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Detroit.
Guys, they've done everything they can in this one to just dominate that backboard offensively and keeping control of the ball and then converting.
And they've taken advantage of the turnovers they've created, pushing it every chance they get. So much easier to score when you get early looks.
And so he makes both from the line. And it's Cunningham with the ball for the Pistons. Thompson outside. And here's Harris from the arc. And the rebound by Nurkic. Nurkic has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done.
And it's still a close game. I mean, despite the fact that they've struggled to compete on the boards.
Here's Mikhailuk. Now George. Duren pulls it down. Now Robinson. Cunningham outside. Thompson. And get the three.
I'm all right with him taking that shot close to the hoop, but really not from long range.
And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
And that is just a deflating error on his part.
A play like that can absolutely take the wind out of your sails. Just a tough break.
Detroit leading by 13. Robinson outside. Here's Harris. Outside Cunningham. Strong move off the glass.
And this is the beauty of Cunningham. He can score from anywhere on the floor. That length, obviously, a huge advantage.
And so George will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Oh, the dunk!
And he slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? The Pistons shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Now Thompson for three. The three goes down.
If he develops a consistent three-point shot in his first few years, Thompson's going to be scary.
Jazz trail by 16. Now here's George. Markkanen outside. And with the most recent collective bargaining agreement, Tim, teams have felt the pinch of those new luxury tax and apron penalties.
Yeah, and the goal of those being put in place was to have more top-tier talent equally spread out around the league. And as you've seen, there's been some tough decisions already. Some teams have had to trade away some of their stars just to make the math work.
And sometimes it's hard to make that math work. There's so many moving parts.
And as a result, it's more important to be able to structure out your supporting cast than ever before.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Pistons.
Two great rebounding teams.
And these guys worked just a little bit harder tonight, and that was the edge they needed.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first two, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
And a lot of players tonight helped contribute to this performance, but in particular, a real good game it was for Cade Cunningham.
You look at the energy he brought on both ends of the floor, and it's easy to see why he was a difference maker.
That's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession. And that kind of stifling effort on defense needs another look.
And a block like that sends a message, one that says we're not giving up this lead.
Here's Sensabaugh. Levert defending.
Well, that is a nice challenge at the rim. Really altered that shot.
Here's Stewart. Now Ivy. Puts it up from 12. That one is off. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and Allie LaForce, I'm Kevin Harlan. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. But as we